Live from New Delhi, you're watching TD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Lipakshi Khurana, coming up in the next 30 minutes. Prime Minister Narendra Modi reiterates austerity appeal to fuel saving, defer gold purchases and limit foreign travel amid West Asia crisis. Trump claims West Asia ceasefire on massive life support after dismissing Iran's counter-proposal. Tehran says ready to respond to any aggression. UN calls for genuine ceasefire as Israel's assault on Lebanon intensifies. Pressure grows on Keir Starmer as cabinet members join MPs calling for UK Prime Minister to set out timetable for resignation. 79th Cannes Film Festival is all set to begin on the French Riviera. 22 films in competition during the 12-long movie extravaganza. And in sports, Komal Kohar opens India's medal account with a bronze at the Asian Weightlifting Championship in Gandhinagar. And on to the details now. Prime Minister Narendra Modi reiterated his call for reduced fuel consumption, greater use of public transport and electric vehicles by citizens, and urged the people to defer gold purchases amid the West Asia crisis, which has caused large-scale disruptions. Addressing a gathering in Vadodara after inaugurating the Sardar Dham hostel built by the Patidar community, Prime Minister urged people to prepare for a period of global uncertainty and repeatedly stressed on small sacrifices and collective responsibility. Pointing out that gold imports put pressure on foreign exchange reserves, he asked people to postpone the purchase of gold until conditions normalize.
नहीं, खाने के तेल पर भी देश की बड़ी विदेशी मुद्रा खर्च होती है। अगर हम थोड़ा संयम बरतें, तेल की खपत कम करें, खाने के तेल की, तो इससे देश और हमारी सेहत दोनों को लाभ होगा। और सूरत वालों को मैं खास कहता हूं, इसी तरह मैं आज समाज के सभी भाई बहनों से, मैं आपके परिवार का सदस्य हूं इसलिए आग्रह से कहता हूं, और इसमें तो आपको आगे आकर के मेरी मदद करनी पड़ेगी। सोने की आयात पर भी देश का बहुत बड़ा पैसा विदेश जाता है। मैं आप सबसे, देशवासियों से आग्रह करूंगा कि जब तक हालात सामान्य न हो, हम सोने की खरीद को टालें। गोल्ड की जरूरत नहीं है।
Well, stating that prices of imported goods are soaring and global supply chains have been severely disrupted, the Prime Minister stressed on reducing burden on countries' resources. He urged citizens to adopt local products and support local entrepreneurs. Prime Minister Modi appealed to people to opt for work from home and wherever possible and reduce foreign travel.
हम तो किसान के बेटे हैं, किसान की बेटियां हैं। हमें अपना खेत सबसे पहले बचाना है, हमें अपनी धरती मां को बचाना है, हमें केमिकल फर्टिलाइजरों से अपनी धरती मां को मारना नहीं चाहिए। नेचुरल फार्मिंग की तरफ ले जाइए। साथियों, एक और भी अहम विषय, और वो भी आप में से बहुतों को लागू होता है, बुरा मत मानना, फैशन हो गई है। जैसे ही वैकेशन हुआ, बच्चों के हाथ में विदेश की टिकट पकड़ा देते हैं। विदेश में जाके वैकेशन कर रहे हैं। गर्मी की छुट्टियां आ रही हैं। आजकल विदेश घूमने, वहां पर डेस्टिनेशन वेडिंग, ये मैं यहां से बहुत से लोग हैं, अब मुझे निमंत्रण नहीं भेजते हैं, पहले भेजते थे क्योंकि विदेश में ही शादी करते थे, अब बंद कर रहे हैं। ये विदेश में वेडिंग, इनका फैशन खूब बढ़ रहा है, और लेकिन इस पर भी बहुत विदेशी मुद्रा खर्च होती है। साथियों, आप सोचिए, क्या भारत में ऐसी जगह नहीं है जो हम अपनी वैकेशन वहां मनाएं, हमारे बच्चों को हमारा इतिहास पढ़ाएं, हम अपने स्थानों पर गर्व करें। और जरूरी है कि भारत में ही अपनी वैकेशन मनाएं। और वेडिंग के लिए भी मैं नहीं मानता हूं कि भारत से अधिक कोई अच्छी पवित्र जगह हो सकती है हमारे लिए। हमें भारत के नागरिक के तौर पर अपने कर्तव्य को प्राथमिकता देनी होगी। इससे पहले के दशकों में भी जब जब देश युद्ध या किसी और अन्य बड़े संकट से गुजरा है, सरकार की अपील और उस अपील पर हर नागरिक ने ऐसे ही अपना दायित्व निभाया है। आज भी जरूरत है कि हम सब मिलकर अपना दायित्व निभाएं।
Moving on, US President Donald Trump said on Monday that the ceasefire with Iran was on life support after dismissing Tehran's response to a US peace proposal as stupid. Trump said he is considering restarting naval escorts, previously dubbed Project Freedom, through the Hormuz Strait as he seeks complete victory in the war. Trump warned that Iran's rejection over the weekend of Washington's demand is now unbelievably weak.
We're going to have a complete victory. We've already, in theory, had a complete victory from the military standpoint. The military, look, their Navy is dead. They have they had 159 ships. Right now they have 0, other than the little speedboats that go around that got taken out 8 a day by us. They have no Air Force. They have no anti-aircraft. It's unbelievably weak, I would say. I would call it the weakest right now. After reading that piece of garbage they sent us, I didn't even finish reading it. They said, I'm not going to waste my time reading it. I would say it's one of the weakest right now. It's on life support.
Meanwhile, Iran has called for an end to the war on all fronts, including Lebanon. Tehran also demanded compensation for war damage, an end to the U.S. naval blockade, a guarantee of no further attacks, and resumption of Iranian oil sales. Tehran also emphasized its sovereignty over the Strait of Hormuz, where it has shut down shipping traffic. Iran's parliament speaker said his country's military stood ready to teach a lesson to any aggressor after Trump warned that the ceasefire hanging by a thread. And the United States on Monday imposed new sanctions on individuals and companies it said were helping Iran ship oil to China, while also warning banks about attempts to evade existing curbs. The U.S. government on Monday announced sanctions against 3 people and 9 companies, including 4 based in Hong Kong and 4 in the United Arab Emirates, for aiding Iran's shipment of oil to China. Now, the 9th company is based in Oman. The move comes hours after the UK issued its own distinct set of sanctions and days before US President Trump was scheduled to visit China. The Treasury said the new designations by the Office of Foreign Assets Control were aimed at individuals and entities that helped Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps sell and ship its allotment of Iranian oil to China using a series of front companies. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said the Trump administration would continue to ratchet up pressure on Tehran to deprive the Iranian government and military of funding for weapons, its nuclear program, or support for proxies in the region. Also, U.S. President Donald Trump said on Monday that he would discuss the topic of arms sale to Taiwan with Chinese President Xi Jinping in Beijing this week.
But a lot of good things can happen. Now, we'll be talking about, he'll bring up Taiwan, I think, more than I will. But I think that a discussion will be a little bit about energy and about the very beautiful country of Iran.
Well, in December, Trump announced the largest ever U.S. weapons package for the island, more than $11 billion. And in recent days, Trump's aides have urged Taiwan to commit even more money to its defense. And a U.S. official said the Trump-Xi summit signaled no change in policy towards Taiwan. Speaking to reporters, Trump repeated his doubt the tension over the island would erupt during his presidency. Well, President Donald Trump's administration on Monday asked a U.S. court to pause its ruling against the administration's 10% global tariff while the federal government appeals the decision. The request would allow the United States to continue collecting the tariffs from importers as the legal battle proceeds. In a 2-1 decision last week, a panel of the U.S. Court of International Trade ruled that Trump's use of Section 122 of the Trade Act of 1974 to impose the levies was invalid. Also, the court's order immediately blocked enforcement only for 2 companies that filed the case and Washington State, but the Justice Department warned that thousands of importers paying the tariffs could bring similar claims if the ruling takes effect more broadly. The administration has appealed the decision to the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Federal Circuit. The Justice Department said that if both the Trade Court and the Appeals Court refuse to pause the ruling, the administration is prepared to seek emergency relief from the Supreme Court. And UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer is facing mounting pressure to step down as 4 ministerial aides resigned and more than 70 Labour MPs reportedly called for him to step down after Labour Party's local election losses. Now, the senior cabinet figure said they urged Starmer to set a timetable for his departure. Starmer insisted he would prove them wrong, but unrest inside Labour continues to deepen. The senior cabinet figures urged Starmer to set a departure timeline, while resigning aide Tom Rutland said the Prime Minister had lost authority. Also, former Minister Catherine West called for a leadership contest in September. Starmer's allies warned that replacing him so soon after Labour's 2024 victory could plunge Britain into political chaos, but criticism inside the party showed little sign of easing. Despite growing unrest, removing Starmer would require backing from 81 Labour MPs to stay in the cabinet. And the last 2 evacuation planes carrying passengers and crew from the Hantavirus hit ship MV Honduras landed in the Netherlands on early hours of Tuesday. According to the Dutch Foreign Ministry, traveling in the 2 planes were 28 evacuees from the ship, including passengers, crew and medical staff. The first plane to land was transporting 6 former guests of the Honduras, 4 from Australia, 1 from New Zealand and 1 British person who lives in Australia, while other plane was carrying 19 crew members. These 6 are expected to stay in a quarantine facility close to the airport before being repatriated towards Australia. 3 people have died since the start of the outbreak, a Dutch couple and a German national. A complex operation had thus far resulted in 94 people being evacuated and repatriated to their countries of residence 41 days after the MV Honduras set off from southern Argentina and 9 days after the first positive test result for the respiratory hantavirus infection. Meanwhile, Spain has successfully completed the evacuation of 125 passengers and crew members from 23 countries aboard the MV Honduras cruise ship on Monday. In the press conference, Spain's Health Minister Monica Garcia said that one Spanish passenger from the MV Honduras cruise ship tested positive for Hantavirus shortly after authorities completed the vessel's evacuation operation. The passenger, who initially tested positive, remains asymptomatic, while the 13 other Spanish passengers aboard tested negative, she added. While WHO Director General Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus said there was even mental breakdown for some of the passengers. A New York Governor, Kathy Hochul, also said on Monday the 3 New Yorkers were among passengers from the MV Honduras cruise ship who returned to the United States. At a press conference, Hochul said one passenger is from New York City, while the other 2 are from Orange County and Westchester County. And yet, she is not clear whether the 3 would remain in Nebraska or return to New York during the 42-day monitoring period. New York Health Commissioner Dr. James McDonald said there was no immediate risk to the public. Both state and city health officials said they were coordinating with the CDC and local health departments and would provide updates as needed. And still to come in this edition of DD India Live. Hemant Sarna to take oath for second term as Assam Chief Minister. Several top NDA leaders, including Prime Minister Modi, to attend. Prime Minister Modi to embark on 5-nation visit to UAE and 4 European countries from May 15th. President Draupadi Murmu to confer the National Florence Nightingale Awards to nursing personnel today. Welcome back. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Lipakshi Kuran, and moving on, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will embark on a 5-nation visit from May 15th, during which he will visit the United Arab Emirates, the Netherlands, Sweden, Norway and Italy. The focus of this visit will be on ensuring energy security for India amid disruptions in global supply chains due to the US-Iran war in West Asia. Prime Minister Modi will pay an official visit to the UAE on May 15th, during which he will meet President Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan to exchange views on bilateral issues, particularly energy cooperation and regional and international issues. The 2 leaders will also discuss ways to advance the bilateral comprehensive strategic partnership. On the second leg of the visit, Prime Minister Modi will travel to the Netherlands on a state visit. This will be Prime Minister's second visit to the Netherlands after his previous visit in 2017. During the visit, Prime Minister Modi will call on King William Alexander and Queen Maxima and hold talks with Prime Minister Rob Chetton. Prime Minister's visit will build on close cooperation in defense, security, innovation, green hydrogen, semiconductors and a strategic partnership on water. Prime Minister Modi will also travel to Sweden for the third leg of the visit during May 17th to 18th. He will hold bilateral talks with Prime Minister Ulf Kristersson on bilateral relations and to explore new avenues of cooperation, including enhancing trade between the 2 nations. The 2 Prime Ministers will also address the European Roundtable for Industry along with European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen. In the fourth leg of his visit, Prime Minister will pay an official visit to Norway from 18th to 19th May for the 3rd India-Nordic Summit and bilateral engagements. This will be the first visit of Prime Minister Modi to Norway and will mark the first prime ministerial visit from India to Norway in 43 years. In the final leg of his visit, Prime Minister will undertake an official visit to Italy. During the visit, he will call on President Sergio Mattarella and hold talks with Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni. Prime Minister had last visited Italy in June 2024 for the G7 summit. Prime Minister's upcoming visit will further deepen India's partnership with Europe across sectors, particularly trade and investment ties, in light of the recently concluded India-EU FTA. And External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar inaugurated a special exhibition titled From Shunya to Ananta, meaning zero to infinity, the Indian civilization's contribution to mathematics at the United Nations headquarters in New York. The exhibition, which is organized by the Permanent Mission of India to the United Nations, sets out to document what it describes as Indian civilization's contribution to mathematics. Speaking at the inauguration of the exhibition, External Affairs Minister Dr. Jaishankar hoped that it would heighten awareness and spark a debate about the richness of the inherently pluralistic world and help cast aside prejudices and assumptions about the embrace of technology in the current era. And President Draupadi Murmu will confer the National Florence Nightingale Awards 2026 to outstanding nursing professionals at Rashtrapati Bhavan to commemorate the International Nurse Day. In India, the award was instituted in 1973 by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, recognizes the crucial role nurses play in India's healthcare delivery. The award ceremony highlights the government's efforts to strengthen the nursing profession, including the establishment of nursing colleges and regulatory updates. International Nurses Day is celebrated annually on May 12th, the birth anniversary of Florence Nightingale, to honor nurses' contributions worldwide. The 2026 theme is Our Nurses, Our Future, Empowered Nurses Save Lives, focusing on policy changes and investing in the nursing workforce. And Union Minister of State for External Affairs and Textiles, Pavitra Margarita, has arrived in Honduras as part of a high-level visit from May 8 to 15, 2026, marking the first such visit following the formation of a new Honduran government in January 2026. The visit aims to strengthen bilateral relations. As part of a broader diplomatic mission, the minister is also visiting Costa Rica, Belize, and the Commonwealth of Dominica. And Himanta Biswa Sarma will be sworn in as the Chief Minister of the northeastern state of Assam for the second consecutive term on Tuesday. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, Home Minister Amit Shah and Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman will attend the swearing-in ceremony. Along with Sarma, a few others are likely to take the oath as ministers. Governor Lakshman Prasad Acharya, who formally appointed Sarma as Chief Minister on Sunday, will administer the oath of office and secrecy to him at the new Council of Ministers. And moving on, the 2026 edition of the Cannes Film Festival gets underway on Tuesday with stories centered on war, grief and artificial intelligence competing for the prestigious Palme d'Or. This year's festival works by acclaimed directors such as Pedro Almodovar, Asghar Farhadi and Ryusuke Hamaguchi will also be featured. Hollywood stars including Scarlett Johansson, Adam Driver and Rami Malek are expected on the red carpet alongside veteran stars Barbara Streisand and John Travolta. The festival will conclude with the Palme d'Or ceremony on May 23rd. And the jury of this year's festival, including jury president Park Chan-wook, along with Demi Moore, Chloe Zhao and Stellan Skarsgård, have arrived before the commencement of this year's edition.
Behind me is the iconic staircase leading up to the Palais des Festivals, where most of the world's cinema will be screened at the Cannes Film Festival. The red carpet is going to be rolled out right here, and stars from around the world will walk down the red carpet ahead of the premieres of their films. This is one of the most photographed locations in cinema and acts as a bridge between fashion outside and cinema inside.
And on to some sports news now. Komal Kohar opened host India's medal count by winning a bronze in the women's 48 kg weight category at the Asian Weightlifting Championships in Gandhinagar. Competing in place of Tokyo silver medalist Mirabai Channu, the 23-year-old rose to the occasion with a composed performance, finishing with a combined lift of 177 kg. Her effort in clean and jerk also earned her a bronze medal in the discipline. Chinese Taipei stamped its authority with a commanding 1-2 finish. Yuangyi Chen secured gold, while compatriot Fang Wanling followed closely to take silver. And on this day in 2020, Prime Minister Narendra Modi gave the call for Atmanirbhar Bharat, or self-reliant India. Prime Minister Modi said the vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat is based on 5 pillars: economy, infrastructure, system, demography and demand. Here's a report.
In May 2020, the world was facing the COVID-19 crisis. At that time, Prime Minister Narendra Modi announced the vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat. The aim was to make India stronger and more self-reliant. PM Modi encouraged people to support local products and Indian industries. Campaigns like Vocal for Local and Make in India received new momentum under this vision. The government also focused on boosting manufacturing, digital technology, and startups. India increased efforts towards self-reliance in sectors like defense, electronics, and infrastructure. Today, the vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat continues to guide India's development journey. It reflects the country's focus on growth, innovation, and self-confidence. The call for Atmanirbhar Bharat became an important step towards building a stronger and self-reliant India, and the vision continues to shape the country's future. Kriti Vadhera's report for DD India.
Well, that's all for this edition of DD India Live, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on the screen to download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Lipakshi Khurana from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live.